Good morning, everybody. We are back to another edition of the right side of campus. It's 10 a.m., and that means Donnie and Big Man. First things first, here on a Thursday morning, August 16th, 2018. Again, I'm your host, the Big Man on Campus, joined by my co-host, Donnie Rightside. Got a lot to talk about today. A couple things coming up. We got the Colts season preview. We got baseball. We got all sorts of stuff to chat about today. Donnie Rightside, how you doing?
Doing good. Thursday, Jeff. You got day baseball here. You got preseason football at night. I mean, I'm sure there's something going on in the soccer world across the globe as well. A lot to look forward to as we head into the weekend. And Jeff, it's almost getting to the point where we're saying heading into the weekend, it's almost into the fall. What do you have? Basically 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks left of August. Once that calendar flips to September for me, Jeff, don't even care what the weather is outside. It's automatically fall. It's football season. A lot of stuff to discuss out there. And again, Jeff, if you are a gambler out there, which, hey, you're watching sportsbookreview.com. You're following us on Twitter. You're hitting the subscribe button down there. Keep your options open. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here in Atlantic City, Jeff, every day it seems like a new sports book opens up. So what does that mean? One outlet, you can get maybe a +4 in the Eagles game. Maybe you can get a +4.5 across town. Keep your options open, which if you're looking for a sports book online to use, Bovada is an option that you certainly can use if you are a dog better. Usually, if that line is 6, maybe you might steal a 6.5 at Bovada. So keep your options open. The promoted Sportsbook of the Week, as usual, here actually for the last couple weeks at sportsbookreview.com here with the right side of campus is Bovada. Keep your options open. Use as many outlets as you can.
Thanks for checking us out today. We hope you enjoy the show. Hope you had a great Wednesday evening. We'll recap everything that went on and get to know the Thursday card as well. Hit the like button for us. It's a big thing here at SPR. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Also, if you're on Twitter, retweet the show. It's a good way to get it out to people that might not see it on a regular basis, though. Most of you already see it on a regular basis, but do that for us if you can. Let's get into some morning headlines here. We'll start it out with DJ Durkin, obviously being on administrative leave. He's on administrative leave right now. Jabril Peppers chimed in, Donnie. Cleveland Browns and former Michigan star chimed in, saying, kind of giving his opinion on Durkin as a coach. He basically indicated that he was not a big fan of Durkin. He called him, a bit extreme at times. His tactics were different. He was a different guy. You know what I mean? But I'm shocked reading all the stuff that's going on now. Look, Donnie, I think we can all agree. I mean, more of it had to do, I think, with the strength people, those kind of guys. I mean, look, when you get into your head that you want people to do stuff and complete tasks, they're going to do it. And I've learned quickly, Donnie, that in that world of lifting weights and being in shape and kind of being a football, maybe not a football player, but in that gym world, they don't really take "I can't do it" or something like that. They expect things to be done, and they expect you to really kind of take your body to where maybe you don't go often. And maybe that happened here. Either though, Jabril Peppers, a guy that knows Dirk and he played under him at Michigan. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, which is why they're in a lot of trouble because you have, especially Jeff, you're talking about Big Ten programs. You're talking about, head trainers, assistant trainers, 15 interns on the training staff. That's big business there. They should know better. Usually the football program, Jeff, even though going through where I grew up in a Division III program, the football team got the main attractions there from the actual athletic department or the athletic training staff. We always had a ton of people there, tape you up, make sure you get your water. If you got injured, they would be able to take you off the side right away, which is pretty baffling at a major university like that where they could let some stuff go under the radar where somebody's in distress, they don't cool the body down and mistakes were made. One thing I do want to point out, Jeff, if you saw the president of the University of Maryland accept full responsibility, no legal jargon, Jeff, no let's let the lawyers talk, we were wrong. We'll accept it. We're going to handle this ourselves. We don't need to go through arbitration in court. Whatever that price tag is going to be, we'll pay it because we were wrong. That was refreshing to hear. But getting back to your point, Jeff, you're right. The strength and conditioning coach, there's a reason why these guys make major dollars. They are a right-hand extension of the head coach. Not too long ago, Jeff, remember when Willie Taggart made that run from South Florida up to Oregon and napalmed that program in the spring where guys couldn't even like walk after spring practice. They were complaining because his whole MO was Oregon, you guys ain't tough. Watch when I bring these guys up here and we stress you like you've never been stressed before. The strength and conditioning coaches sometimes are a little bit over the edge, but that is an extension of the coach because they think it would make you tougher, saying, look, these guys used to run 5-gassers. Yeah, we're going to run 25 now. Get ready for the new Oregon program. Happens all over the country, but you better have a medical staff that can handle that attrition at the end of practice and throughout the week. Otherwise, you're going down. Because you remember, Jeff, the Oregon strength coach with Willie Taggart, he did get suspended. I think he might, I'm not sure if he actually got fired, but he was let go for at least a month and a half when they originally went up there.
I think, Donnie, to me, the craziest I've seen people as far as doing stuff to your body is probably like Hell Week for like Navy SEALs,
Hmm?
which again, like that's probably the most rigorous workout that I've seen. Like I wonder how exactly they can do that, as far as I get it's discipline and you're being, but you can only do so much, I feel like, with a body, and I think some of this stuff is, particularly in these programs, I mean, it's a little ridiculous as far as, you know, I don't understand how making someone so tired they can't run anymore. I mean, what's that going to do for your football program? I don't know that I don't know that I understand that, but yeah, listen, Durkin is going to have to deal with the fallout here, and it is what it is. Jalen Ramsey, Donnie. Big story yesterday. Ramsey all over the world of football, and he's interviewed by GQ. He gave his unbridled opinion on a lot of different players. I'm going to go down some of these, Donnie, and I want you and I to basically, do you agree there? Because we're a show that will say what we want and we don't care. I called Josh Allen trash. I don't care what anybody says. He's trash. He's gonna show too. That's a stupid draft pick to me. We play them next year, and I'm excited as hell. I hope he's their starting quarterback. I got to tell you, Donnie, I'm gonna take this one first. I couldn't agree more. I don't see it with Josh Allen. I don't think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback. I don't think he's a guy that will work or translate. I don't know if we'll ever see him as a starting quarterback. I really believe that. He might be in there, but I don't think he's going to be successful. He just doesn't do a lot of the things that you look for at the NFL level, and I don't know how you really teach it. What do you think about the Allen comment?
It's pretty funny. Like the Allen Common, I mean, obviously the kid hasn't even played football in the NFL, and you're a first round pick. You're drafted that high. He's going to get at least 30 starts in the NFL, regardless of how bad he is. So we'll have some time to work it out. He's on a bad football team technically in Buffalo, the way we look at it now on the upswing. So if they can build around him and he can do what he does, because I was never a big Bortles guy coming into Jacksonville where he was drafted. I thought he was overdrafted. He's shown some signs of being a good quarterback, but a lot of times he does revert back to being the old school Bortles that we all know. That's neither here nor there. But look, Jeff, I got such a kick out of it because when you look at media today, you want that scrubbed answer. Like, everybody's always politically correct. This is a guy, Jeff, that says, I shut big time wide receivers down. Don't you throw my way. And I'll tell you to your face, don't you throw my way. Now, some of the guys that he's saying, Big Ben, average at best. I mean, we all know that he's not average at best. He's going to probably be a Hall of Fame quarterback when it's all said and done. But it's so refreshing, Jeff, to go down a list of guys you play every year or guys you're going to play or they're going to hear about it and talk about it. But you have enough moxie, Jeff, that you back it up. Like when A.J. Green comes to town, you basically lock him down and get him so pissed off that he usually doesn't even talk at all to fist fight you during the game. So you're a good cornerback. He's a great cornerback. It was just refreshing. It was great candor just to see a guy just go down a list, Jeff. And you know what the best part of that list was? Yeah, by the way, Carson Wentz going to be MVP and, shows Deshaun Watson. Everybody else is trash. I was like, you know what? Man knows what he's talking about.
God, I got to tell you, I wouldn't mind doing this in the tout business. I wouldn't mind being interviewed and being able to go down a list of people doing that. I think Matt Ryan's overrated. You can't tell me you win MVP 2 years in a row and then last year complete bust. You still got Julio Jones. There's no way that should ever happen. I don't care. Listen, I mean, it's no secret that Kyle Shanahan leaves and all of a sudden Matt Ryan's not as effective. I also went and called Joe Flacco. He said Flacco sucks. I played him 2 years in a row. He sucked. Eli Manning also. It's not really Eli Ramsey said. It's Odell. I won't say Eli's good. I'd say Odell's good, and their connection is good. Also, you look at last year. Not a particularly good year for Manning. We didn't see much of Odell. He then also commented on Deshaun Watson and Carson Wentz, saying they would be MVPs down the road. He also had good things to say about Tyrod Taylor of all people, Donnie,
Yeah,
which is
no,
interesting.
what's interesting about Tyrod. I mean, it's kind of funny. He actually said that about Tyrod Taylor because he saw Tyrod Taylor firsthand in the playoffs last year, just about embarrass himself in that game. But hey, look, sometimes they might be friends. You know what I mean? You're always going to stick up for a friend or a counterpart out there. So, but the fact that they asked him about Bortles and he said like playoff Bortles is good, but playoff Bortles in that Buffalo game was awful. So I mean, he is picking and choosing on who he likes and doesn't like. But I like the fire though. I like the guy that comes out against good quarterbacks that says, yeah, I don't give a damn about that guy and line up. Because the best part about the Eli Manning story, Jeff, where he's not even made, Odell makes him. He gets to face off Eli Manning game one out there, so he's not ashamed of it or afraid to get after some of these guys.
Well, I mean, he better hope that he backs it up. That's all you got to say. He better hope that he goes out there and plays well. Or he's going to be the butt of the jokes here. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I thought a lot of it was true anyway. Good for him. Let's move on to Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks second episode came out on Tuesday. Donnie, I'll hear your opinion, but I got to tell you, I was a bit surprised. I thought it was a decent episode. I thought I think you're starting to see a little bit of cohesion there. I mean, listen, the way they handled the Callaway situation was a bit ridiculous, but I will say, I mean, I guess I'll ask, what more do you do as an organization? I mean, what can you go out and cut the kid? I mean, you, I don't really understand getting rid of Corey Coleman. A lot of the overseeing ways of doing things, I don't seem to understand, but I don't think we disagree. The team looks a bit different. They look a little bit more, uh, you know, I don't know. They look a little bit more cohesive. What was your thought on the second episode? I know you're not a big Hugh Jackson fan.
Yeah, it's like I don't sometimes when you like Hugh Jackson looks more of a friend than football coach. Like if Hugh Jackson was my offensive coordinator or quarterback coach, he seems like a really good nice guy to be around, doesn't he? Like, gets along,
Yeah.
can joke it up a little bit, can get serious, but as a head coach, I mean, the proof is in the pudding overall. He's not a very good head coach, but I do like the fact that Todd Haley is there. Todd Haley is a son of a bitch. I mean, anybody watches him or he gets thrown out of damn near everywhere he is. Wasn't he in like a parking lot fight at a bar recently and gets thrown out of Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Arizona, but he does get some results out there, which is a good thing if you're looking to back, and say, hey, look, Cleveland might be on the way up at this point. I just don't understand their organizational, Jeff, philosophy because when you're building from the bottom, you're trying to build, as we said again in previous shows, that good foundation out there. So let me get this straight. Like Corey Coleman gets shipped out of town for a 2017 or 2020 seventh round pick, which is basically nothing. You couldn't just demote Corey Coleman and see if he had any fight in him this year on the second team and if he worked his way up because you don't gain anything by just getting rid of him. So now you leave yourself hamstrung. Josh Gordon is at some, maybe you ever like Malibu, rehab that you see on the TV. I don't know where he is MIA. He's probably not coming back. So it leaves you shorthanded as is. And you say, all right, Antonio Callaway, you got arrested for the 37th time. We're still going to trust you. You know how I'm going to punish you? I'm going to play the entire preseason game in the first game, which makes absolutely no sense. If you remember a couple years ago, Jeff, Le'Veon Bell and LeGarrette Blount got caught smoking weed in a car on the way to play against the Philadelphia Eagles in a preseason game. I think it was maybe preseason game 4 at that point where the punter, Le'Veon Bell wasn't there, but LeGarrette Blount, they made him play the entire game and return kickoffs because I believe the suspension was already in place. There's no suspension for Callaway, so the punishment was we're so mad at you, we're going to let you play every snap. I just don't understand. Like, and the more I watch John Dorsey, the more I just can't figure out, Jeff, that, look, if they just put me and you in charge of the Browns, we would do a much better job than I don't know. I'm just baffled. I love Hard Knocks because it gives you that look at the front office and it says anybody sitting on their couch can damn near do this job in 90% of the cities. Just the way it seems.
I'll be interested to see how they go about cutting people. I got a feeling that's going to be a bit of a fucking mess. Look how they did Coleman. I mean, he walks in the office and they're just like, he's just like, look, if you're not going to fucking play me, trade me. And it's just like, all right, well, I guess you're right. See ya. Um, by the way, though, terrific shoe collection, Corey Coleman. I'm
How
very
about that?
impressed.
I knew you would be impressed with that right away. And then he gets shipped out of town. That's a lot of boxes you got to take with you, man.
Yeah, yeah. It sucks too because you kind of feel bad for guys like that. It's like, he just bought the house. He's just finished up like getting it all together, and then it's like, oh, see ya. The NFL's a fucked up business. And what I don't understand, Donnie, is they don't have any receivers. I don't understand why they did that.
That's the
Like,
point. I mean, Rashard
Right.
Higgins, we all know him from Colorado State days out there.
Yeah.
He's a up and comer that might be able to turn into something. Yes, you have Jarvis out there, but where is your depth? Like I don't know, and you're relying
Where's your
on
depth?
people, Jeff, that are unreliable. That's the best part about it, isn't it? And then Des Bryant's going to come into town. Let's get on that scene as well. Where Jeff, have you ever seen an organization? Most organizations they
That
hold the
won't get a
hammer,
call
right?
back.
Yeah, exactly. That hold the hammer, like Des Bryant. Like, boy, I would love to play for the Eagles, and the Eagles are like, yeah, bro, beat it. You know what I mean? Oh man, if me and Odell were a team up there, and the Giants like, yeah, beat it, man. Oh man, if I could stay in the division with Washington, Washington's like, dude, man, beat it. Now you have a guy that says, you know what, John Dorsey and the Browns, I'm not going to pick up your phone call. I'll tweet at you when I'm coming to your town. Unbelievable. You like if John Dorsey would have gained like 3 notches in my book, if he's like, so Des says he's going to contact me on Twitter. Yeah, he's really not welcome here just to show up at any time. But if you saw now the interviews coming out where even like Todd Haley is on interviews, Jeff, going, boy, somebody of that magnitude, we would coach him up. I'm like, that just shows you how barren of a wasteland Cleveland is right now, where a guy on Twitter, you're begging him to come to town so you could talk to him.
I do have to say I like Kajus, Devin Kajus. Good kid, nice kid.
He
Obviously
was good at
works
Stanford
hard.
too. He was a good player at Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you want to see guys like him do well. You got to root for people like him. Obviously, a guy who the likelihood of him doing something on an NFL roster is low, but he'll work and he'll grind and he'll hopefully at least you want to see people like that get a practice squad. You can make good money and you can do your thing. So hopefully he does well. Seems like a nice kid. Duke Donnie preseason got going last night.
Mm.
Exhibition. They went up to Canada, played Ryerson. Won by 19. It wasn't a 40-point blowout, but they got the job done. Zion was very good. Barrett was good. Trey Jones didn't play. Cam Reddish didn't play. Listen, the problem that I have with Williamson, and I'm going to have to make sure, we have to make sure this obviously translates, but at Duke, you have to figure he's going to have these coaches, he's going to have these strength guys. They're going to get his weight in check. Donnie, if he went to the NBA right now, he'd be the second heaviest player in the league. I mean, it doesn't seem to bother the kid. I mean, he's dunking from the foul line. But you have to make sure you keep that in check because when you're a kid this young, you're going to go one of two ways. You're going to go the right way. You're going to go the wrong way. And Zion is incredibly talented. I wonder though. I'm ready to see him against tip top competition. I want to see him against UNC. I want to see him out at the Maui Invitational against real basketball teams, against really good players. Then I'll size him up because I've watched Zion Williamson since he came to Spartanburg, and here are the issues. I don't know if he can shoot the basketball. He can put it on the floor and get to the hoop and run with the basketball and with no one around him. But can he do it when there's 5 people in the lane? Again on a fast break, it's very difficult to stop Zion Williamson, but it's very difficult to stop a lot of people in a fast break. Okay, I need to see more from the kid. All I'm seeing is him dunking a basketball with no one around. I mean, Donnie, how many tapes have you seen of him in the layup line dunking a basketball? I mean,
Yeah, no,
have you
that's
ever
I
seen
mean
the kid
that
take a
wasn't that
jump shot?
his whole college career out there or his whole
Yeah.
high school
I mean,
career. Like he's, I mean,
I'm
he's a
s-
physical specimen. Like amazing dunks and
sure.
what one can do with their body, especially at his weight of what he could do is really special. But if he adds like a post game or like, a 3-point shot, I mean, I haven't seen much of the kid outside of what I see on YouTube, which is, oh man, he just dunked on that 5'5" white dude, man.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. The level of competition down there wasn't good. We'll see. Listen, they're the preseason number one. They are the number one team to me. I'll take that stamp right now. But as always with Duke, it's all about the cohesion, getting everyone in
Mhm.
there. That starting five is terrific. It's a who's who of high school stars. But it's like always, can they cohesively play together and can K get everything out of them? They also have a preseason game, I believe, Friday as well. So if you want to see Zion, you can see him again, maybe. Let's get into MLB. An interesting night in MLB, wild night in MLB. A lot of interesting things going down on the diamond. A lot of fireworks, Donnie, if you will. A little first pitch fun in Atlanta. And I got to tell you, a pretty classless move by Julio Urania. I mean, he'll go out and say that he didn't do it. I mean, it was him just he missed or something there, but uh, hits Acuna, a little pushing match ensues. Snedeker not happy. What are your thoughts on Acuna being hit?
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever likes to see that, but here we go, Jeff, again with the unwritten rules of baseball. Hit a couple home runs, pimp a little bit. You're not going to set a record against us and hit another home run. So I'm going to take it out of your hands and just drill you. The only problem with that, Jeff, is, with pitchers, they have pinpoint accuracy. Sometimes fastballs and curveballs get away from pitchers, but you can see intent there. You're telling me that a pitcher who's done it his whole life at a pro level, Jeff, that can paint the black at like 97 miles an hour whenever they want, they usually can pick a spot from your knee to your thigh to your ass to like that small of your back where they could just peg you 95 right in your thigh. Hey, buddy, you're not going to hit another home run off us. But you get out of that realm when you're just lazy doing it and you fire a fastball that could end a guy's season. Hit him in the head, hit him in the neck, hit him in the wrist, hit him in the hand, hit him in the forearm and break it. It was a Bush League move because if you remember I was probably 5-6 years ago now. You remember when Bryce Harper was hot shit and Cole Hamels threw a curveball and plunked him, and then after the game said, "Hey, kid's a hot shot star, thinks he's hot. Just wanted to give him a little welcome to the big leagues hit." That's one thing, Jeff, when you get hit with like an 80-mile-an-hour curveball in the butt as opposed to a fastball off your forearm when you're in a playoff race. It's a bunk move. And then you see like the old school guys like I believe it was Keith Hernandez, which I love the Mets broadcast. I think it's one of the best in the business. And he's saying, yeah, I'll do it every time. You know what I mean? You want to pimp a little bit, I'm going to throw I mean, the only thing I agree with, in hockey, Jeff, where you say, fighting is barbaric, but it does control the sport. Like if you're going to take a shot at my best guy, you're going to have to answer to that. Like in baseball, I see, like if you hit Acuna like in the leg and then the next guy comes up batter, he gets hit, tit for tat, you move on, that's the end of it. But just a Bush League move. It was clear he threw at him and it was ridiculous.
Exactly. Scumbag move by a scumbag team and a scumbag
Really?
organization.
It was. And a team that's out of it too, Jeff. Like if you have like Boston and the Yankees doing this, saying, "Oh, we have a history of doing this, and we're both running for it." You have a team that has no shot at the playoffs versus a team in first place, and you're going to take out one of their best players. That's a ridiculous move, man. Ridiculous.
Agreed. Wilson Ramos looks like the new king of Philly. Watch out, Meek Mill. Watch out, everybody doing their thing in Philadelphia. Wilson Ramos, Gilly the Kid called himself the king of Philly. I don't know about that. Wilson Ramos looks like the king of Philly right now. 3 RBIs today. It's not a big night. Seemed like every time he went up or came up, he got a hit. Big double late in the game. Had a triple for the first time in, I think, 7 years. All sorts of stuff last night from Wilson Ramos. Look, a good move at the deadline. You needed a real catcher. You needed someone that could hit. You needed someone that could defend. Wilson Ramos is a sneaky good player, and he helps the Phillies get a split in a 2-game series against the Red Sox. Phillies continuing to play well. Problem is, Braves are playing the fucking Marlins every night, Donnie.
No, you're right about it. But what makes me laugh about this, Jeff, is when you really look down, but don't we all know that Wilson Ramos is a really good catcher in Major League Baseball? And the stuff that makes you laugh is like the Phillies, Jeff, got he gave up cash considerations for a 300 hitting catcher that plays pretty good defense. And from game one off the DL for a few weeks, hasn't played, has 2 doubles, a triple, throws a guy out from his knees. I don't know. I expected a lot out of Wilson Ramos and was waiting. But if you're asking me that I expect what he did last night, he just looked like he wanted to do whatever he wanted at the plate. Full count, 2 strikes. Let me just go off the wall. Let me go in the gap. And the funny part was, Jeff, is the triple that he had, which I believe is only the second of his career. He's rounding second base, and the ESPN crew is yelling, "Stay at second. Stay at second. Don't go to third." Beats it out. What a game we're on there, man. Way to have a nice first impression. And also with the Phillies, Jeff, Justin Bour out there raking as well at the plate. 2 really good pickups for dirt cheap prices. Sometimes Major League Baseball with these trades just baffles me, man.
Yeah, nice deadline moves there. Impressive work. Phillies keep it going. D. Gordon hits a home run. How about that? D. Gordon, the most unlikely person to hit a home run. Hits a home run, Seattle wins, and luckily Oakland loses, so that helps out the Stros and Seattle. Seattle finally would win. D. Gordon, Donnie, you don't see home runs from him very often.
No, that was you're talking about a lifeline win, Jeff, for the Mariners in that situation. A lifeline loss for the Athletics based on the Houston Astros finally getting some offense there. That's going to be a fun race to watch, but somewhere Houston had to stop the bleeding, which they finally did and opened up their offense. But Seattle needed that win. Nicely pitched game. And dude, Jeff, I love it, man. If you're looking at the A's, They got the bullpen that can handle it. Now, yes, did they give up the runs? But hey, look, your bullpen's not going to go out 5-6 innings of shutout baseball every night. You're going to give up runs. But if you can shorten that game for your starting pitcher to 5 innings and let the bullpen take over, the A's are going to be a lot of fun to watch out there. The only problem is, Jeff, they're a lot of fun to watch, but just see, like Oakland, the Bay Area, that's a big area, Jeff, isn't it? 17,000 people in the stands yesterday to watch the Oakland A's surging versus a team they needed to win on a nice day. 17,000 A's fans? Come on, man. Get in the ballpark.
It's like Atlanta. They don't go watch any games either.
No, there you go.
Astros break out, finally get a big win, roll. I think 12-1 or some crazy number. They needed a win yesterday. Oakland loses, so back to 2 games up. Listen, Donnie, we can talk, we can have fun, but I think we all know who's going to win this division. I mean, the Astros will get Correa back, they'll get Altuve back. Everybody will come back healthy. They're not losing this division.
No, I think we've said that all along. You're waiting for them to get healthy. Even if they end up, Jeff, even up heading into September, you get McCullers back, you get Springer back, you get Altuve back, you get a healthy Correa back. Everybody's in the lineup for a couple of days. They're going to rake again. They're going to crush teams because if you have a starting staff, Jeff, that peels your scalp back for 6 innings and then hand it over to a good bullpen, and oh yeah, that 1 through 9 lineup is now fully intact. They're going to win their fair share of games. Going to be a great playoff. I'm really looking forward, Jeff. A lot of times every year you say, baseball playoffs, yeah, they're fun. Really nice setup here for the playoffs coming. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. A lot of interesting races as we head into the fall. Gary Avery, welcome in. Listen, no one compared Ben Simmons to Don Williamson. You did that, I believe, Teddy. No one else did that. You brought up Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons can't shoot. It is a good point. Is he a bust? No, he just hasn't figured out how to shoot yet. He can still do other things. I mean, they're 2 different players. The kid's coming out of high school. I'm just saying there are certain things that I need to see him prove. He hasn't been able to do that yet. Dodgers, Donnie, this team's turning into a bit of a mess. You look at them. They win last night, but I mean, this bullpen is an absolute fucking train wreck since Kenley Jansen left, and they can't get anyone out.
No, you're right. And I didn't watch the game, but I wake up and the first thing I look for is, the Dodgers won an extra inning. So immediately I go to the box score and the line play, and I see a nice 3-0 lead. It's real comfortable. McCutchen goes yard for a 3-run blast in the 8th to tie it up. And oh no, here we go again for the Dodgers. All that money they spent. Now look, I get it. You lose Kenley Jansen. How many teams, Jeff, across Major League Baseball's closers go down each year, an extended stay in 2 to 3 weeks, and they have to shuffle the pen and they deal with it. Just because your closer leaves, meanwhile, nobody can understand what their position is out in that bullpen. And again, Jeff, we're talking about the LA Dodgers out here in a pitcher's ballpark. So when you're not in, it's not like Yankee Stadium you're falling apart where a guy hits a 310-foot home run right down the line. That's a big ballpark, and you're blowing leads left and right, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That's a problem heading into it. Now, the good thing about the Dodgers is they want to correct it and make the playoffs. You have some time to figure it out. But if there's no bullpen trust back out there, what do you have to do? Let Kershaw go 9 innings every single game out there? It's amazing.
Sad news out of the entertainment world, Donnie. Aretha Franklin has died.
Yeah.
76 years old. A great artist over the years. 76 years old. Just seeing that across the line here. Long life, though. Did a lot for the music world. Rest in peace. The first woman, Donnie, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How about that? Never knew that.
Deserved it.
Interesting. Sure. Let's hear Aretha Franklin, Donnie. Let's hear a little. Can you sing a little song?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if we can sing or play anything in here because I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
No. Let's have you sing.
I don't even. What do we got? What type of songs we got on here for Aretha? Let's see.
R-E-S-P-C-T.
There you go.
So yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, you got it. I'm gonna get a little background for you on that.
Rest in peace, Aretha. The king of the queen of gospel and all sorts of stuff as a kid. Now she's a Hall of Famer, and she has passed away. Rest in peace, Aretha. Let's move on. Baseball tonight, Donnie. What do we have going on?
Yeah, Major League Baseball, Jeff. Let's tip into a couple of these. You got Cubs Pirates on the mound today, and we got a nice little laugh, Jeff, of last week on the show saying, you know who's back on the mound today? Name looks good on the back of the jersey. Team's usually pretty good. Picked up a World Series. John Lester at this type of prices out here. Why not take a throw at it? Got lit last week. Now he's heading to Pittsburgh. And last time, Jeff, if I remember, in Pittsburgh, he didn't fare so well also. Ivan Nova on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates here. One look, do I like the game already? I want to see some lineups that come out. I want to see some how everything sets up. But one thing I do know for sure, Jeff, in this game, it's going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates or nobody for me tonight here.
Yeah, Lester's not pitching well. Seems like the last time he pitched well back, Donnie, was a few roundtables ago. It was a couple weeks at least. I mean, he's given up. You look at his last 13 and 2/3.
Mm-hmm.
He's given up 17 earned runs, 2.27 WHIP. Really struggling. Maybe you look over the number here. Cubs can hit Nova. Pittsburgh pretty good against lefties. I might be looking towards an over here in this game. 8.5 seems a bit low, especially the way Lester's pitching right now.
Yeah, by the way, I'm trying to get some. I haven't followed much on. I know Chris Bryant got the cortisone shot in his elbow, either elbow or shoulder at that point. When is he actually coming back? Is he slated to come back pretty soon off the DL? Because I didn't think it was going to be that long term a thing. So when they get him back, that'll be a nice big boost. I don't know if he's due to come back in this series tonight or whatever it is, but you're right. Looking at Lester overall, he just can't get anybody out at this point. And the one thing that Pittsburgh should be able to take advantage of is if they can get runners on base, they can steal on John Lester, because obviously we know he doesn't throw to first base, but just overall, usually he got around there. Because remember a couple years ago, Jeff, last 2-3 years, you can steal on him all you want, but you can't even get on base against the guy. That's not the case anymore.
Madden said it's moving forward. I don't have a real finish line in sight, but it's getting better. He's doing
Yeah.
some baseball activities, and that was on the 14th. So I would say it's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, so it looks he won out. So we'll continue to put Rizzo in the leadoff hole and have Jason Hayward bat third, which is just atrociously ridiculous, but it is what it is. But the one good thing is you're looking at the Cubs. Cubs can hit. We do know the Cubs can hit. They're in a pitcher's ballpark at PNC. There's no doubt about that. But the one thing I like about Ivan Nova, Jeff, is he throws strikes. So you know what that means? Teams that like to hack, they're going to get pitches to hit. The Cubs can hit. You know what I mean? When you get those Chatwood starts for the Cubs, you're like, yeah, he has good stuff, but it lulls the batter to sleep with 7 pitch at bats. At least Nova, Jeff, ball's coming right over the middle of the plate for us.
Yeah, this one looks to be a bit of a high score. I mean, at this number, all we need is 9 runs. The way Lester's pitching, I'll go over.
All right. Keep it moving here, Jeff. Diamondbacks and the Padres out here. You got Buck Colts versus Knicks. 87%, Jeff. 87% of the early tickets coming on the Arizona Diamondbacks here. Opened up cheap, 127, 130. Now sitting at 140, 135 across the board. Over under 8 across the board here. Buck Colts versus Knicks right now. I mean, you just say, you know what? Let me just take the better team out here with the better pitcher. Doesn't seem too hard. It's not a high price.
I'm going to lean towards San Diego, Donnie.
Ooh.
Here's your perfect situation on. You look at a guy like Tommy Milone. Tommy Milone pitched well for a few starts. Then he got fucking crushed. When is Clay Buchholz going to give it up? I mean, Clay Buchholz has done a nice job, though. 11 starts. He's still got only a 2.25 ERA. You're waiting, though, for Buchholz to get jumped on. I mean, kind of, we remember Buchholz the last few years. He hasn't been good, but he seemed to have found something here. Knicks looked absolutely terrific against the Phillies in his last start. 6 innings. Didn't give up a run. I mean, he was awesome. I want to take the Padres, but I just don't trust them offensively. I'll probably have something small in them here. I think they can get the job done. I don't always trust Buchholz. Under looks pretty good here as well. I have a feeling this is a low-scoring game, kind of like that Phillies game last time out. Both these guys pitching well. You just ask yourself, is Knicks, someone that can put it together a couple starts in a row? They believe in him out in San Diego. A good pitcher. Tough one, but I'm going to kind of lean Padres here. I think Buchholz is due maybe for a little bit of a hitting around. Maybe Hosmer gets into one or someone like that. I'm going to take a shot with the Padres here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I tend to agree with you overall with like Buckholz and Knicks. I think the over under looking at 8. I mean, that is a pitcher's ballpark. We know San Diego can go into a shell. How much do you need out of Arizona? When you haven't seen Knicks yet, which is always a nice little key ingredient where maybe it takes 1, 2, or 3 trips around the lineup for them to try to figure him out. He already had the good start under his belt, Jeff, and already had the good start under his belt at home. So it's not like saying, all right, well, you did it in San Diego. Now let me see you do it in New York. He's at home again, the comfortable environment. So if I'm looking at that game right now, Jeff, probably leaning on the under 8. What do you see in this? Maybe 4-2 game, 4-3 game type of game coming up there. I'll lean on the under 8 in that one. So not too much. Let's take a look, Jeff, at the lefty on the mound for the Detroit Tigers, 967, 968. Liriano and Santana. Heavy action, Jeff, here on the Minnesota Twins, 72% lining up. Line going in the direction, too. Opens up at 155, 160. Now sitting in the mid 160s. And the one thing, Jeff, I know you've looked at all season long, we look at Detroit, you really like to see them go up against a lefty because when they go up against a righty, they're weighted on base average for the year. They have like 1 or 2 plus hitters that are above average at that point. So where do the runs come from? And I'm not one to back Liriano at this point, Jeff. He's a boom or bust with a lot more bust potential than anybody. Walks guys, gives up home runs. I'm not interested from that side. But then again, you're going to play a nice price point to take the Twins. We're not talking about taking the Red Sox here at minus 160.
Yeah, and Irvin Santana's not been good. I mean, Irvin Santana's had a tough year. I mean, 4 starts, an ERA over 6.5. I mean, he's not looked good in his starts back from injury. They're also not a team that hits lefties. And Minnesota hitting 233 this year against southpaws. I'm not running to the win at about 165, 170. I lean Detroit here. But this could be a low-scoring affair. Neither of these teams really has any success against the opposing pitcher. And it's hard to back Detroit on the road because they are a team late that always seem to give it up. I'm going to go first 5 under here. I think these teams are low in the first couple innings here. It's a tough baseball card though today. Not a lot of interest there. The card's a bit smaller. You have a weird kind of card, but I do like that over in that Cub Pirate game.
Yeah, how about this? I had a little early afternoon surprise. Jeff, my Phillies will be in action in the doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock. But your Yankees, how about that? Snell Tanaka, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday, Jeff? Come on, man. That's beautiful.
Well, yeah, but yeah, the problem is now I'm not going to get to listen to Mike Francesa, so that sucks. Donnie, I mean, come on. I mean, Mike should be on over the Yankees. Come on, you
No,
know.
come on, man. Come on.
Okay, okay. No, but I'm kidding. Yeah, no, listen, big pitching matchup here.
Yeah.
Yankees laying a big number. Need to see stuff out of Tanaka. He's got we maybe he can be that guy for us now. I mean, he's a good playoff pitcher. Need to see something out of Tanaka. Good matchup here. Should be a good one.
Yeah, Jeff, you remember the last time Snell went up with Tampa Bay to face the Yankees? One of the more brutal beats on the first 5 innings that I know a lot of people had with Tampa Bay. I believe it was maybe a 3-run home run by Gleyber Torres in that game back when he was actually a real baseball player. So we'll see if you get any of that back end of it. But not a good look last night for the Yankees, Jeff. We'll see if they can rebound at a 1 o'clock game. I love it. I love day baseball. You got preseason football tonight, baseball and all day long. The Phillies for me on twice today. I'm living it, man. I'm living. And by the way, I think one of these games might be a Facebook game, so I'm going to lose my mind here in just a little bit, probably.
Yeah, well, maybe you should get a Facebook. Guan White, leaving for the beach tomorrow for a week. Everyone heading to Vegas. Have a safe trip. Yeah, I gotta ask you, Guan, how come you're not going to SBC? I mean, you've been watching SBR for a while. I mean, I haven't seen you at any.
Look,
We haven't
Kyle
seen you at
Hamburg
any
would have
events.
drove up. It's not that far from Georgia to
Yeah,
drive up and
where are
scoop you up
you?
in Tennessee and head out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, kind of an odd week for decision making, Guan. That you're going to the beach the same week as there are 52 weeks in a year, and you're going to the same week as IPC. Why are you going to IPC, Guan? I wanted to ask you that. Let's get into the Colts, Donnie. They're our next team as we head into the NFL season. We've been taking a look at
Hmm.
each team, chatting about them here, finding out what we can find out about these groups. And look, it's interesting now in Indianapolis because Andrew Luck's back. He's healthy.
Yeah.
He's frail. He seems a little bit soft, but he's back. He looks better. He looks good. And when he's at full strength, Donnie, he's a great quarterback. We all know that. You have some receivers to throw to, not a ton, and you actually have a decent offensive line all of a sudden. I mean, you bring in Quentin Nelson, who, look, Donnie, I thought was the best lineman in the draft, and I thought one of the best linemen we've seen in the last 5 years in the draft. He's just a road grader. That left side is very good. Costanzo and Nelson. You got Ryan Kelly at center, Matt Slauson and Austin Howard. Austin Howard, actually, a former Eagle, played well with the Raiders. Now he's with Indianapolis. Good group of linemen there. I think they're going to protect Andrew Luck. You look at the running game, not a ton. I mean, Marlon Mack, not a lot to look forward to here. The offense doesn't have many weapons, Donnie, as you look at it from kind of up top. Can Andrew Luck make them good? I don't know. There's not a lot here, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, Andrew Luck can make anybody look good. Look at their last, 5-year trend, Jeff? 2013, 11 wins, 14, 11 wins, 15, 8, 16, 8, and then 2017, 4, obviously with Andrew Luck being out. But the one thing I have a problem with, Jeff, when you're looking at the Colts, same thing with a really good starting pitcher. When you have a good quarterback, Jeff, like Tom Brady, he goes all 16 games for the season. If you equated that to baseball, like Max Scherzer pitching all 162 games, when you have a good quarterback, a good healthy quarterback with a good pedigree, you can win football games on your quarterback alone. But here's the problem I have, Jeff. Let's just say, a golfer that has to sit out the entire year and can't swing a golf club. Let's just say Steph Curry had to sit out over 365 days and not pick up a basketball. Now you're telling me Andrew Luck, who couldn't throw for a damn near full year and then comes into camp and can't throw, and now is finally starting to throw, where they brought him in with little K2 footballs like a midget football team would use, or a high school football, college football, and working him into the NFL. The same thing you can equate to betting from baseball into the NFL. When your pitcher is going out there and you hear the rumblings, yeah, his shoulder can give out at any moment. Do you trust Andrew Luck taking that beating out there in the football field? Or how about off his back foot, happen to throw a laser 20-yard out? Or just trying to get that extra oomph on the ball, Jeff, where your boy, Hilton is rocketing down the field on a skinny post where you have to launch that ball. Until I see it done for a long time, Jeff, if you're looking at team totals as opposed to game, I can't trust it so far, Jeff. If everything weighs on your quarterback whose arm hurts, isn't that like a fire sale no-brainer, like alarm saying, you know what? I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach on the Colts before I lay some money on them.
Yeah, listen, I mean, here's the problem with the Colts also. I mean, where do you get 7 wins on this schedule? I mean, I don't think you conceivably win a game until week 6. I mean, you look at the schedule. I mean, you start out the season, Bengals, Redskins, Eagles, Texans, Patriots. Then you get the Jets and the Bills and the Raiders, and there's some winnable games there. But then you get the Jags, Titans. You get the Jags obviously twice, the Texans twice. You got to play the New York Giants. This is a tough schedule. I don't know that I see 7 wins on this schedule. I talked to Gamble Lou Donnie the other night. He thinks they're going to win 8 games. I don't know if I see that. I think defensively they have some playmakers here. You went out and got Najee Good. He could play linebacker for you. You have a pretty decent secondary, obviously bringing in guys like Malik Hooker and players like that. But I don't really see much of a pass rush here. I mean, what do you have there? I mean, could Jabal Sheard be a pass rusher? I don't know, maybe. I don't see 7 wins on this schedule. This is a tough schedule if you look at it.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you're looking back and you say, hey, look, when Andrew Luck was playing, Jeff, for 4 years there, they won 11, 11, 8, and 8. So why can't, if Andrew Luck is healthy, get 8? I can see a point of view or contact to that. But if you take a look at it now, like I just said, Andrew Luck coming back with that arm not firing on all cylinders just yet. But let's not forget also, Jeff, that division got a lot better than what it was 5 years ago. You had the 9-win Houston Texans. You had the laughing stock of the NFL team like the Jacksonville Jaguars. And who the hell was Tennessee at that point, right? Now you're looking at an upper echelon with a really good division and now saying go out there and get 8 wins there with Andrew Luck. That's going to be a tall task. And also, Jeff, new regime change here. This isn't like, hey, we're coming into year 3, we're rounding in the form and ready to go. Frank Reich and a completely different staff now is in town. How is that going to play out? I like Frank Reich as a head coach overall. I think he's getting a lot more credit than he deserved in Philadelphia because DiFilippo and obviously Doug Peterson were much more involved. I mean, hey, look, he's the offensive coordinator by note, but we remember all those years in Philadelphia. How many offensive coordinators do we have where Andy Reid was basically pulling all the strings at this point? He will be a very good CEO guy, get that team in the right frame of mind. But also, when you're bringing that new regime change in, a brand new offense, you're talking new language to your quarterback, sometimes it's going to take some adjustment. And I don't know, again, just Andrew Luck stepping in there. Game 1, is he throwing 40 passes with a lot of darts downfield? That's to be determined.
I think this is a bad team. I think they finished 4th for sure. I think they win 5 games. I don't think it's I think if you can get to 5 games, it's a success. What do you have at coach there with Frank Reich? I think you're right, Donnie, with Luck. I mean, he's just so brittle. I mean, what do you have there? He gets hit, then what? We'll see. I don't like the Colts. I don't think I see 7 wins in the schedule at all. Um, CC Fitness doesn't think Rosen's the best quarterback prospect. I mean, Donnie, quickly, but we have a couple minutes here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand how, like, if you can actually say that, like, how is Rosen not the best prospect? I mean, everything he did was absolutely terrific. He had no real flaws coming out of college. I mean, no offense to Darnold. I think he's a good kid. I think he's a talented kid too. And I think he'll be a good quarterback, but he turns the ball over more than anyone I've ever seen. He can't hold on to the football. Uh, Jimmy Neutron better get the turnovers intact, or it's going to be. And I'll tell you another thing from a situational standpoint. Has anyone seen the fucking Jets roster? And this fucking team stinks. That depth chart's a joke. I mean, you look at this team, and I know we're not talking the Jets today, but Donnie, I mean, seriously, listen to this fucking depth chart at receiver. Robbie Anderson, Jermaine Curse, Quincy Enunwa, Terrell Pryor, and Chad Hansen. The tight end, Eric Tomlinson. Who the fuck is that? And then their running backs, Isaiah Kroll and Bilal Powell. I mean, what the hell is this? It's
Yeah,
a
and is
bad
Robbie
situation.
getting suspended? Did Robbie get suspended this year? Because I know he's been like arrested 30 million times. It seems like I don't even know if he's getting suspended. But you're right. You know what I mean? Like you get a young quarterback. What do you usually like to do with your young quarterback? Get him somebody who can throw the football to. Like if push comes to shove, this guy's going to be open there. But on your original thought process there, Jeff, between Rosen, I loved Rosen in college. You know how much I liked him. He looked like he could come into the NFL and be that system quarterback, almost like Aaron Rodgers, like with precision,
Yes.
smart,
Yeah.
already gets the game out there. But we know, Jeff, the NFL and GMs are a lot like the NBA, right? They take the projection of a big, strong, fast kid. Maybe Rosen's already at his physical limits. Oh, man, look at that big, strong, fast kid. You know how they get in that, Jeff.
Yeah. Listen, the only opinion that matters is Donnie and I's, and Rosen is a fucking star. All right, he is. And listen, these fucking fanboys that come on these channels and these shows and want to purvey this absolute moronic crap like the Jets are deep at receiver. What the hell are you talking about? This is a fucking bad receiving core. And do I give a flying fuck that their defense is going to be on display tonight in the fucking preseason? Who cares? What do I give a shit? I don't care about their defense in the preseason.
Got to get back to
Give it a
Santana
fucking
Moss and
rest for the
Laverne.
Jets.
Jeff, what happens if Darnold had Santana Moss and Laverne as Coles? Then we might be talking something, right?
Correct. Wayne Corbett, maybe. Yeah, I'm
The
in.
Green Lantern, maybe Keyshawn. Yeah, man, give me some of them old school Jet wideouts. Altoon.
Curtis
Come on, man, give the
Curtis
guy
Martin to
somebody.
hand the ball to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
damn it,
Agree.
absolutely.
Let's get into our off-topic segment, Donnie. But yeah, I mean, the Jets. Let's cool it with the Jets. I mean, seriously. I mean, this is a bad, bad roster. I mean, seriously. Um, Interesting, Donnie, out of the rap world.
Hmm.
None other than the old and the new. How about this? Takashi 6ix9ine and 50 Cent on a music video set together. Someone opened fire, Donnie. Witnesses say someone in a white Porsche with New Jersey license plate fired at least 11 shots during filming at 10:30 p.m. Based on the shell casing, it was a semi-automatic weapon. Takashi and 50 were on set at the time of the shooting, along with others like Casanova and Uncle Murda. Um, According to sources, the shooter wasn't targeting any of them. Something going on here, Donnie. Seems like everywhere Takashi goes, somebody's shooting at him. Maybe this had something to do with the Chief Keef beef. A lot going on here. Maybe it's just some overall jealous person. I don't know. But Takashi working with 50 Cent, um, some of those people might not like that in the rap world. They don't like legends working with people like Kashi. Any opinions here?
Yeah, no, Jeff, do we ever get down to it? Like, being in the rap game and the R&B business out there with A&R, like, isn't this a good move if you're both of these rappers where you pay somebody or maybe pay one of the entourage to just show up on scene, pop a couple gunshots off and run away because it'll be quote unquote the shots heard around the world. It's unbelievable PR, Jeff. It would be a mastermind scheme. I think one of those two guys just paid to have a couple bullets or a couple rounds shot off, and that gives you some credibility.
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, Casanova is a known member of the of a gang. I mean, Uncle Murda is done time. 50 obviously has had his past. Takashi's obviously a negativity attractor. Somebody pissed someone off, and this didn't work. So yeah, my surprise more is that 50 Cent's working with Takashi 6 9 team. But again, 50 staying relevant. So is Takashi trying to
Mhm.
stay relevant together. What else do we have tonight? Kobe cashes in. Why don't you tell me more about
Mm.
this?
Yeah, Jeff. I mean, look, when you're in circles of millionaires and billionaires and you have money to lay down, the old adage in everything you do, Jeff, if you spend money, you can make money. Scared money doesn't make money. When you have a lot of money, you can take risks against things. And if you lose, you're still going to sleep on your pillow at night when you've made that much money in your career. For Kobe, so somebody comes up with a nice idea a few years back. Hey, Kobe, we want to lend your name. We're starting this up. We want to battle Gatorade. How about you take a couple $1 million and invest in us with body armor? Okay. How's 6 million sound? Cool. Cut you in for a nice large chunk. We'll see if we can work this, get this product up there, maybe sell it off to a large distributor when we're all said and done. So seems like Body Armor Jeff was sold to Coca-Cola. They dipped through the paperwork, opened it up, looked, hey, Kobe's initial $6 million investment, Jeff, looks like it will net him $200 million. We've seen it in the past, Jeff. What, 50 Cent, career winding down, made some good money, looking for that last bang. What did he invest in, Jeff? Vitamin water. Banged out like 50 million bucks on a couple $1 million investment. This is the way you do it. But hey, small timers like us, Jeff, we can't get involved in these circles that says, look, hand me over some dollars. I'm going to quadruple platinum your investment and you're going to get it back in a couple years. Must be nice, huh?
Yeah, I need a situation like that, Donnie. I'm looking for
Yeah.
one. I'm trying to find it. But hey, I mean, Donnie, if Turtle can do it on Entourage, we can all do it.
Yes.
I mean,
Avion, man, yeah. How much money
Avion,
did you
yeah.
invest in that turtle?
Yeah, well, he thought he had sold his shares, if you remember,
Yeah,
but Vince bought him back, and
it held, yeah,
Turtle's
held on to it.
Turtle's a fucking millionaire. Johnny couldn't believe it.
Yes,
Uh,
that's great,
the
great.
best thing about sports talk is everyone is an expert. No one's an expert. Well, listen, Chris, if you continue with those comments about they have a great receiving core, I'm not sure anyone will take your comments seriously. Listen, I get you're a fan, man. We get it. But you got to be a bit realistic here. There's a lot of fanboys on these channels that don't seem to understand that your team isn't the greatest ever constructed, and you know you're not going to win every game. Um, but yeah, I mean, I need an investment like that. Good for Kobe Bryant. Continues to make moves on and off
Yeah,
the
me.
field
By
now
the
that
way, me and the we only have a couple minutes. Or me and the big man are looking to invest in a couple things in the future. We're open for investors out there, Jeff. Will we let anybody in and invest with us or not? Or are we just selfish for the most part? Would you
no,
let
no,
anybody in?
no, hell no. Why would I let anyone in? I could do it my own self. Why do I need anyone else? No, I don't want
Jeff,
any.
you're looking for
No,
investors to bring on board and make a lot of money, Jeff. Why are you being so
no,
selfish out there?
because I don't need any. I don't need them. Maybe one or two people that I really like, but other than that, no, I don't want anyone else. I could do. We could do it ourselves. Why do we need anyone else? You know what my dad says, Donnie?
What?
He says if you need an investor to start a business, you shouldn't start a business. You should already have the
Ooh.
money.
Hmm.
And I actually, if you
Yeah,
listen to
that's not
Mark
always the
Cuban,
case, though. That's not always the case, though.
Mark Cuban will actually tell you the same thing. Seriously. But yeah, Donnie, listen, I don't need anyone. Me, myself, and I. Maybe Donnie, one or two others. That's it. Let's wrap it up here. Always fun chatting with the people here. Always a good show. Thanks, Tess, for putting it on. We got 1 week, Donnie, about a week until IFBC. You and I will be heading out there. What am I picking you up in the morning? I'm actually picking Donnie up. Go to the airport, him and I.
So we might
So
not
that
even make it. What we're saying over here. Yeah.
no, no. We'll listen. If you know anything about me, I'm very time driven. I'll be there. Uh, everyone have a great day. Thanks for checking us out. We'll be back tomorrow. This has been a long week. Seems like it should be Friday already. It's only Thursday. Everyone have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye bye.